Það eilíft ræðuefni, hvenar og hvernig á að setja peninga í menningarstarfsemi. Við stöndum frammi fyrir þessu núna eftir að við höfum byggt í mikla menningarhús Hörpu. Hljóðfæraleikarar í Sinfóníuhljómsveitinni hafa boðað verkfall og ungir sjálfstæðismenn fögnuðu því að þar gæfist tækifæri til að leggja sveitina niður. Við ætlum að fara í nokkur álitamál sem að tengjast menningarstjórnun með Dr. Franz Pattei. Hann frá Vínarborg, hann austurríkismaður, stjórnaði 250 ára árstíð Mozarts fyrir nokkrum árum. Þá var mikil hátíð í Austurríki og reyndar svipuðu afmæli Haydns. Hann forstjóri þekks menningarfyrirtækis í Vín og menningarhús þar. Hann situr í verðlaunanefnd Emmy-verðlaunanna og líka í stjórn UNESCO, eða tónlistarráði UNESCO. Welcome, Franz Pattei. These are important questions I'm going to ask you because in Iceland we are in this situation of having built this huge house down by the harbor, which you have seen. And some people say this is too big for us. This is a very big house, and how can we fill it, and how is it economically viable for us? I would first like to ask you about your experiences from Austria. For example, from running the Mozart year in 2006.
The Mozart year was to celebrate Mozart's 250th birthday in 2006. And the question was at the beginning, why should the city of Vienna invest such a huge amount, 20-30 million euro, in this project?
Yes.
Because Mozart is dead and he will not get the celebrations of his birthday.
No, of course not. No.
So there were a lot of criticism. Why is there such an investment in this cultural project? And we were very successful over the year. We had a lot of activities. We wanted to produce sustainable projects. There was, of course, a celebration to the birthday on the 27th of January, a kind of firework. But most of the money was spent in investments in the future of cultural activities, meaning education of young children,
yes,
to bring them in contact with music, to make them positively, emotionally involved with music. We commissioned new works, opera works, concerts, theater plays, films. We wanted to create new initiatives,
yes,
that go on to promote music. And on the other hand, of course, the idea was to invest in the image of the city of Vienna as a musical city with these activities, and to make it interesting, attractive for visitors to come. And it turned out, because we commissioned a study, that our plan worked.
Yes.
So we had more overnights compared to other years. We had a return on investment. The tax money that was invested in this Mozart year was coming back through all these additional activities, especially by foreigners coming to Austria and paying for goods that Austrian finance minister gets the VAT, for instance.
Okay.
So it worked for us. And we created more jobs.
Yes.
1,250 to be precise.
So this was financially viable in every way, but more than so, it actually generated revenue, profit.
Yes.
Yes. But is this important? You are looking at culture from this way, that the financial, the economic balance of the whole thing.
I mean, it's a big discussion. Yeah. I mean, culture has aspects of the service industry.
Yes.
Yeah? You go there and you get a service. You go to a concert, the orchestra plays, you pay a ticket, they get the revenue. It's a kind of deal.
Yes.
On the other hand, culture has an aspect that is not service industry. That is what I call food for the soul. It's an emotional aspect of culture that is very difficult or not possible to judge in money. Yeah? As one person wants to go to a classical music concert, the next one wants to go to a rock and pop, the next one goes to medieval music, the next one wants to go to a museum.
Yes.
So you see tastes are different and emotional aspect of it is different.
Yes.
And how can you judge a person who likes to go to classical music and say this is a better taste to one who likes to go to the museum and consume culture in that way?
Yeah.
But this is without saying that all of these activities enrich ourselves, make us more human being.
Yes.
And this aspect of culture is always not in the discussion, the positive aspect of culture. We're always talking, as I just started this discussion with you, about the financial aspect, because this is what you can count. Tangible results.
Yes. But back to the money aspect of it. There's also always this debate on how much we should subsidize culture. But what you are saying is, in a way, that culture and music also generates a lot of side activities which are beneficial to the economy.
Yeah, I mean, with the example of the Mozart year, where just the tourist industry created 44 million euros additional revenues because of the Mozart year. So this is quite a substantial amount. When you compare, 20 million was the subsidy to the Mozart year, and 44 million was generated in the tourist industry. Then you see already that just this small comparison, without the aspect of tax, of additional employments, it counts. Yeah, it's worth to invest.
Yes.
And on the other hand, it is something where jobs are created that cannot be rationalized. Yeah? It is very work intensive culture.
Yeah.
And you need qualified people in this business. So the education that you provide can be then delivered in the cultural sector, because if you only have factory workers, low skilled, that's not really something that a society wants to have. We are all looking for high qualified, high paid, good paid people that also then generate more business in the society, in the macroeconomy, in our community. So it's quite an interesting part to look into.
Yes. And you have been researching this.
I have commissioned research for the Mozart year. For other activities I did the Haydn year 2 years later, 2009, the bicentenary of Joseph Haydn's, the composer's death.
Yes.
They're the same. Yeah? We generated additional visitors to Eisenstadt, where he lived, where we did this festival. So the tourist industry, for instance, in May, that was the day of this bicentenary, they had in Eisenstadt close to 40% increase of overnights. And during the big music festival in September, 26% increase of overnights. So this is not neglectable. Yeah?
No.
If you do it properly and if you can motivate the guests to come with an offer that is authentic and not something that is to be consummated everywhere.
Yes.
You have to invent a product. I talk now in the service industry terms, that is unique. So, for instance, in Eisenstadt, this is where he lived, this is where he composed most of his pieces, where he invented the format of the symphony, things like that. And people were eager to go there, to go in the room where most of his pieces were world premiered, to see his house where he lived, where he had the quarrels and disputes with the neighbors. All that is still there. And this is what was interesting to the people. And if you have a celebration like this bicentenary, it's an occasion to point out and say, here we are, we have this to offer, come and visit us. You make an effort on this occasion.
Yeah, and you don't have to do this with Haydn, you can do it with a lot of other...
with a lot of other things, and maybe a third project that is not linked to an event, an occasion is we do in Vienna every summer an open-air music film festival. This is in front of the Mehrhaus, there's a big screen, and we present opera films, concert films, ballet, jazz, world music on big screen with high quality sound at free entrance. But what we do is we offer food stands with different kind of foods, Japanese, Austrian, Greek, Turkish, whatever, and people come. If they are interested in the program, in the opera, for instance, they watch the opera. If they are not that interested, they go to the food stand, get a beer, get a sausage, come back, talk to their friends. So the idea is to present culture in an entertaining way. Because 400 years ago, when opera was invented, people were not sitting in the opera house like in church, like this, and listening to the music. They were entertaining themselves. Then there was an interesting aria, then they listened, then they closed the curtains of their boxes and entertained them differently, and it was a kind of entertainment. And what we try to do is to bring culture into the people, into the people who don't go.